This is a recap of week 2. You've been reading through William Law and Jeremy Taylor this week, and I hope you've been seeing some of the key themes that are being drawn out by Wesley. You may see this a bit more clearly as we move forward in our class, but you've been seeing some of the key things that may have influenced Wesley's thinking and his practice. And so in the chat forums, there's two words that I would like to focus on in this recap from last week. One is principles, the other is intentionality. So principles. When we talked about in the chat forum, the issue of getting up early and dedicating your first moments to God, most of you did draw out that there is a principle at work here. Now, in their context, in the 17th and 18th centuries, this waking up early actually was a recognized thing that most people would do, is to get up early. And so the question was raised about, in our day, how would we read these works, and how did these influence later Methodists? Well, the key of principles is really important here because it recognizes that there are things that we can learn from the 17th and 18th century England that could be adapted today. So it might be that you're not an early morning person, as many of you noted. And this brings up the second word, which is intentionality. What Law and Taylor are trying to get their readers to do and get their readers to understand is that we need to be intentional in our lives, whether that be dedicating moments to God throughout the day in prayer and reading and holy conversation, or whether that be taking Sabbath, or whether that be preaching the gospel to someone. It's all about being intentional. And these two things, principles and intentionalities, are two issues that Wesley very clearly picks up from the works of Taylor and Law. A couple of points of history. Taylor was a bishop in the Church of England, and he's writing in the 16th century. And so it's important to note that being influenced, or being an influencer on John Wesley, this is a bishop. So it's very important that when Wesley recognizes Jeremy Taylor, he's looking to his own church's resources for help and guidance. The other one is William Law, and some of you may have read a little bit more around William Law and found out that Wesley and Law kind of parted ways. Law became a bit more what you would call a mystic, interested in the spiritual life a bit more than the practical life, so to speak. And so Wesley became less influenced with him as he continued in his journey on ministry. So well done. I've graded all of your chat forums. I've graded the papers that have been submitted, and I hope you've enjoyed. Some of you haven't, and you don't have to enjoy everything you read, but well done in reading these readings, and good work from last week.